City Vizard for Rebel News here at the Alberta UCP AGM. That is the convention for the United Conservative Party, which is the party of Alberta's government. They are here having an event for their members in order to cast their votes on the things that matter to them so that there can be a consensus had, an understanding, a polling of these constituents, these voters rather, I should say, in the UCP party to find out what they think about today's issues. The big issue this year revolves around a Memorandum of Understanding the Alberta and Ottawa governments agreed to. It has divided Conservative Albertans into two groups, those celebrating the deal as a net positive for the province, granting industry and financial gains for Alberta's energy sector, and those condemning this as a cloak and dagger move by the federal government, soft promising growth and pipelines while retaining the ability to take it all away in a whim. But let's see how Premier Smith's UCP voter base reacts to the news.
I support a strong and sovereign Alberta within a united Canada. I know we might have a bit of a difference of opinion on that, but I hope people today feel a lot more confident that Canada works than they did a couple of days ago.
So we're here at the Alberta UCP AGM. What brought you to this event?
I just wanted to see what it was all about. I've been a UC member for years.
It's my first time here. I live in Edmonton, and I'm a strong UCP supporter.
I'm here to represent my grandkids and my kids and trying to make a difference. Yeah.
Well, and shout out to rebelnewsstore.com for that awesome merchandise, that great hat you've got as well.
I am a rebel.
I think because so many people are interested in politics nowadays, and it's just a really good way to get all the information that's coming out of the Conservative Party of Alberta. So we thought it would be a good idea to come.
We're here to serve, to help us best premier to do our job properly.
I was interested in what Miss Danielle had to talk about with certain questions and everything, so I just wanted to have some more information as to where Alberta is going to stand, hopefully in a better place in the future as we carry on with our United Conservative Party government, and also to make sure we have a clear foundation as to how we're going to be respected and understood as Albertans for our heritage and our family and our grassroots.
It's instrumental. We got to be involved in our democracy. Too many people complain, but they don't partake. And you don't have to be anybody special. You can be 14 and up. You could be a board member for UCP Constituency Association. My daughter was one of the youngest at age 14. So the key thing is people got to get involved in their democracy and because they can make a difference. It's time well spent, and we stay very, very well informed here. We get to have access to the MLAs and to the leader of the party, and you get to hear firsthand, because as you well know at Rebel Media, the rest of the mainstream media does not share the message the way it is.
I came here to see what was going to happen in the future, and yesterday we got some information that I was not really pleased with, as far as from Mr. Carney and Premier Smith.
I've spoken at length about the need to build more pipeline infrastructure, to export more oil to hungry Asian markets, and to diversify our customer base. I have repeatedly stated how critical it is to reform a broken regulatory environment that is scaring away investment and demoralizing our energy entrepreneurs here at home. And I have asked repeatedly for the federal government to cease their attempts to throttle our energy industry, repeal or overhaul their 9 bad laws, and work with Alberta to grow our energy sector for the benefit of the entire country. And today's agreement is the first step in accomplishing all of these critical objectives and unleashing the power and promise of Alberta's energy sector in a way never seen before in this country.
How do you feel about that announcement yesterday?
I'm a little bit skeptical about that announcement. I'm just kind of not really confident in it, because I'm thinking about the deep water port for BC. Why don't we do a deep water port through Anchorage, Alaska? Why don't we just quit BC? They don't want to be part of it? We'll go around it.
Well, and
that was one of my questions for tonight.
Proof's in the pudding. We'll see what happens.
I think it's a good deal, and hopefully it comes through, because there are still lots of question marks, but lots of problems that has to be solved with BC.
I believe that Mark Carney is thinking that maybe the independence movement will calm down, and as soon as that happens, like it did in the early 80s, that he would implement all of his evil ways again, and that's not acceptable.
I honestly think that it's smoke and mirrors, and it won't amount to anything. I think they promised a lot, and Danielle says that we've rescinded 7 bad laws, but there's no rescension anywhere. I think that those laws are still in place, and they will be in place whenever he decides to put them back in.
Unfortunately, we've seen these things happen before when we have some assurances from the federal government that we are going to be okay and our requests are going to be actually met. However, we've seen Mr. Carney explain things, and all of a sudden things get turned around again one more time. So it's very difficult to hopefully think that we're going to be okay when we really know that maybe it won't be okay.
That was a benchmark. Nobody expected Carney to come back with the changes there, with the clean energy regulation being kind of shot, and the tanker bans, like a complete 180. And I have to be honest, it would not have happened without the pressure of Danielle Smith and this government, because I tell you what, she's been holding their nose to the fire on every level, and Ottawa now knows that Alberta's a serious player. And you know what? Carney has to fuel his spending habits somehow. And where is he going to get $5 billion a year? He's going to get it from a pipeline. That's the only kind of project, a major project like that will fuel the spending habits of this Liberal government. It creates a win-win, because, honestly, strong Alberta creates a strong Canada. But in the previous years, and the previous Prime Minister, Mr. Trudeau, basically imagine Alberta on the ground with Ottawa has their foot on our head saying, succeed, succeed, give us more money. But meanwhile, they're stepping on our head. Carney's given us a bit of a hand up, and I can't believe I'm giving any sort of comment in a positive way towards a Liberal. But I tell you what, the proof is going to be in the pudding. Now, this is an MOU. It's now about execution and moving this forward. So we want to see some definitive timelines. We want to see some definitive action. And I believe Danielle Smith can continue to push this forward.
Here we are 8 months later, and he doesn't even have the courage to tell Canadians whether he supports a pipeline that would allow us to go around the American monopoly of our energy and get our product to the world. So will he finally stand up for workers, stand up in this House, and answer the question, a pipeline or a pipe dream?
Do you think it is essential that we get a pipeline, or are there other ways of achieving what we're looking for?
No, it's essential. We need a pipeline. We need a pipeline west, and we need a pipeline east.
And why specifically a pipeline?
A pipeline? How would we get the energy there otherwise without a pipeline? How would we get it? Train cars? Train cars didn't quite cut it.
Yeah.
No, train doesn't work. It's got to be pipelines.
Well, and we just saw there was a train accident in southern Alberta recently, right? So.
Well.
They're there all the time.
And in the United States, there's lots of train accidents.
We need it here because we have to get oil and our energy to the rest of the world, especially to Asia.
I think it might be a little better than usual, but I'm not sure it's going to ever go through.
I just think independence is the only way to go. That's our only option. Why do we have to have somebody from Ottawa, another Liberal, negotiating for us when we could be doing that on our own and be getting a lot further ahead?
It's the very source of our income for Alberta. And then we have our cattle and our grain farmers and our ranching and everything else as well. But our pipelines are very important because it's a very economical way to move things in a very responsible way as well.
One pipeline doesn't make the difference. What we need in Alberta, I believe, is how long can you stand for theft that with no accountability? Basically, the federal government are stealing our tax money, and they're acting like drunken sailors, and it's hard to prove, but padding their own wallets, I'm sure.
Let me know what you think in the comments. 2026 is just around the corner. What do you think should be the main focus for Albertans? For Rebel News, I'm Sidney Fazard. RebelFieldReports.com is where you have to go if you want to support our independent journalism, on-the-ground coverage of events like this, thanks to your support at RebelFieldReports.com.